Hello and welcome to T199 Productions. Today I'll be talking about my day trip to Naracoorte and what I did that day. So I went to Naracoorte on the 8th of November 2025 to operate the Lindsay Baker layout on a special operating weekend. I couldn't make it on the 9th due to personal reasons, but it was an absolutely wonderful day and today I'm going to be talking about it. So the first thing I did was go to the market at the Sheepsback Museum and have a look at all the farm equipment and stationary and portable engines that are located at the Naracoorte Rotary Club, which is inside of the Sheepsback Museum. They have a whole collection of, like I said, stationary portable engines and tractors. I don't know much about tractors or stationary engines, but I thought it was really cool to have a look at. So they've got John Deere's, Internationals, Ferguson's, there's a Ruston and Hornsby stationary engine. But yeah, it's a lovely little shed if you live near Naracoorte, or you better have a look, it's obviously free. There were some cars which I didn't take any photos of, but anyway, it's really nice. So that'll be the end to this segment. The next thing I decided to do was look at the remains of the station. I took some photos of the turntable, and I managed to get the locking mechanism to work. These photos I took back in January, as I didn't take any on the 8th. I then decided to walk up to the OTL, and then walked back. This photo is of the Naracoorte station sign. There was a bit of track on top of another bit of track, and that's the station as it currently stands today. After the railway station, I decided to go to the Sheepsback Museum instead of going shopping down the main street. As I was talking to one of the people who works at the Sheepsback Museum, one of the people who was running the event showed up, and he explained a lot of things, and we sort of set up the layout together. And then one of the other people came, and he helped fix Kingston. He was one of the people who originally fixed the layout back when it first came to the museum in 2020. The layout currently on display at the Sheepsback Museum in Naracoorte was built by a man named Lindsay Baker who lived in Adelaide. He wanted to have Victorian Railways and South Australian Railways prototype models, so he built the Mount Gambier to Naracoorte rail line, which included a little bit which had Kingston. It has some small tunnels under the hills to have at Naracoorte, which goes to Adelaide, and one at Mount Gambier, which one goes to Millicent, and one goes to Portland. So the layout was donated to the Sheepsback Museum and put in the National Trust in 2020, after Lindsay Baker began to fall ill. The layout was installed in 2020 and did some running sessions in 2020, but unfortunately nothing had happened since then, until now. And finally we get to what we've been waiting for, the trains. So, as you can see, this is my model of K190 with a special shunting yard promotional headboard. So, K190 was the first engine to run on this layout on that day, and as you can see here, here's a clip of her on the turntable at Naracoorte. Here we have K190 heading from Naracoorte to Mount Gambier on the sleeping train. Up next is 8:30 class 847 heading to Mount Gambier on a mixed goods train. And here is 847 heading to Naracoorte on the same goods train, running from the Long Hood end. Here we have GM20, a Bluebird railcar, sitting in Mount Gambier sheds as K190 passes on a mixed goods train with Victorian Railways and South Australian Railways rolling stock heading towards Mount Gambier yards. And here is 847 on a mixed goods to Mount Gambier. Here is a video on how to operate the turntable at Naracoorte. I was not able to take a video of the turntable at Mount Gambier as that was having problems and was not able to be fixed in time. As you can see here, there's a little thing you have to press on the turntable to unlock it and lock it, and it is powered by the controller. And as you can see here, the logo runs off as happy as ever. Here we see K190 next to the Kingston station, and here is K190 hiding under the Kingston goods shed. And here's K190 leaving Kingston. And here is another video of how the turntable works. You can sort of see the locking mechanism work there. K190 is under the Naracoorte sheds, and here it's turned. And here's sort of how the locking mechanism works. The pin goes into a little slot right there. And here we see 930 class number 947 rolling onto the turntable, about to spin around to do some shunting at Kingston. Here is 947 entering Kingston on a mixed goods train. And here is 947 leaving Kingston with a slightly longer goods train.
You had enough yet?
Not yet. Here is 947 heading to Mount Gambier. And here is 947 entering Naracoorte. Alright, and around 4 o'clock we went to a person's house who was at the event, so he could show us all of his G-scale model railway items. We saw his N-scale layouts, which I didn't take any photos of because he didn't have anything running. We had coffees, and I had a hot chocolate because I don't drink coffee. And yeah, so here's some videos of his sound-fitted Percy and Emily. The Percy speaker was not loud enough, so we weren't really able to hear it, unfortunately.
I've also made this one so I can nearly get all the way around it.
Yeah.
To get in the middle though, I've got to make some gates.
And to end off the video, here's a clip of my new Sentinel 060 Shunter by Hornby, and some photos of it. My plan is to make a 3D printed body shell of a Victorian Railways M-Class. Hopefully I don't have to cut the chassis, but I will if I have to. But time for some channel updates. So I've got some plans to rename the channel. I was thinking the Railway Goose, or something along the lines of that, so that I could change the profile picture every time I wanted to. T199 Productions sort of limited that to only T199, and obviously I live 8 hours away from Peterborough, and I can't easily get over there. So, anyway, feel free to comment any name suggestions. I'm open to anything, and will consider almost anything as long as it's appropriate. So, like, subscribe, feel free to comment. Thanks for watching this video, and have a good day. Goodbye.